どうも皆さん、こんばんちは、ぼこちょです。本日もオリエント急行殺人事件続きやっていきたいと思います。前回ですが、女性警官ロック刑事ですねの過去のお話があったかと思います。で、その続きになります。で、ここから犯人をまた取り調べしたりして進めていきたいと思います。で、今あるものがですね、事情聴取。6人分の事情聴取をしなきゃいけないというところで、こちらをやっていこうと思います。で、ちょっと今状況だけ。この状況ですね。はい。誰だったっけ？こっちは1号車、ここまでだから、食堂車か。
Most of the passengers pass by the bar during the day. They eat, drink, write. Maybe I can use this information for my investigation.
Hmm? はい、聞き手を観察するように要請しましょう。
Brilliant. Yes, it could work. He appears to be an observant young man and serves the passengers regularly.
なんか渡してみてもいいけど、受け取る方が聞き手とはわからない可能性もあるし、教えてもらうと怪しまれる。何かを書いてもらう。
Yes, if I ask them to write something trivial, they may do it instinctively with their dominant hand.
どちらを使ってたか思い出す。
Yes, I will remember which people use their right or left hand. My little gray cells did not let...
話してみましょうか。
Mademoiselle Debenham, I have a few questions for you.
Of
よろしいです
course.
か？昨晩の
Let's start with your movements last night.
There's little to tell. I went to bed and slept.
Did you know the man who was killed?
I saw him for the first time during lunch yesterday.
Did you notice anything about him?
Well, if I believed in auras, I might say he seemed dark.
住所を書いてもらっていい
Would
です
you
か？
mind writing your address on this paper for me?
Not at all.
右だな。
That's it. Mademoiselle Debenham is right-handed.
ミツ・オールソンについて。
Do you recall what time Mademoiselle Olsen went to get some aspirin from Madame Hubbard?
I remember glancing at the clock. She left our room just after 10:30 p.m.
Was she away for a long time?
About 5 minutes.
That confirms what Madame Hubbard told me.
タバコは
Do
吸い
you
ますか？
smoke by any chance?
No, I never have.
なんで横見ちゃってんの？黄色の着物について。
Do you own a scarlet nightgown?
No, it isn't mine.
Who's that?
私を
I don't know. What do you mean?
You do not say, I have no such thing. You say, it isn't mine. Meaning that you know who it belongs to, am I correct?
Oh, I see. No. I woke up this morning about 5 a.m. with the feeling that the train had been standing still for a long time. I opened the door, and I saw someone in a scarlet kimono some way down the corridor. Her back was turned. It was impossible to see who it was.
I understand.
なるほど。ありがとう。
Thank you for your assistance, mademoiselle.
104号室だからそこから6、7、6、7号と5号室、5号室はロックだからここは除外される。ここは怪しい。寝てたから睡眠薬で。
Mademoiselle, I am sorry to disturb you, but I need to ask you a few questions.
Are you the investigator?
I am.
We are lucky you are on the train. What do you want to know?
昨晩のこと。
I hear, Mademoiselle, that you were the last person to see the murdered man alive.
I do not know. It may be so. I opened the door of his compartment by mistake. I was much ashamed. It was a most awkward mistake.
You actually saw him?
Yeah, he was reading a book.
And what did you do after that, Mademoiselle?
I went in to the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I asked her for some aspirin, and she gave it to me. I usually carry extra aspirin for the refugees, but I gave mine to a camp in Turkey. They needed it more than me.
なるほど。
That was easy.
コミュニケーションドア。
Did
まじきりです
Mrs.
ね。
Hubbard ask you whether the communicating door between her compartment and that of Monsieur Ratchet was bolted?
Yes,
And was it?
yes.
And after that, what did you do?
After that, I went back to my compartment, took the aspirin, and lay down. That was around 10:50 p.m.
ねえ、同室者。
Is there anyone else in your compartment?
Yeah, a young English lady. Very nice, very amiable.
After the train left Vinkovsky, did she leave the compartment?
No, I am sure she did not.
Why are you so sure if you were asleep?
I sleep very lightly. I am used to waking at a sound. I am sure that if she had come down from the berth above, I should have awakened.
Did you yourself leave the compartment after that?
Not until this morning.
黄色の着物について。
Do you have a scarlet silk kimono, mademoiselle?
No, indeed. I have a good, comfortable dressing gown of Jaeger material.
タバコは吸います
Do you smoke, mademoiselle?
No, I can't stand the smell of tobacco.
住所書いてくだ
Perhaps
さい。
you will be so amiable as to write me down your address.
With pleasure.
右利きだね。
Mademoiselle Olsen is indeed right-handed. This was a very interesting conversation, mademoiselle. I thank you.
あ
If
り
you
がとう。
have any other questions, I'll be in my compartment. Good luck, Mr. Poirot.
はい。矛盾点。ずっと寝ていた。
Strange, this story. If Mademoiselle Olsen is such a light sleeper, why didn't she tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham getting out of bed? She even made a point to tell me the opposite. That's the right answer.
利き手の追跡。右利き。
Brilliant.
彼も右利き。
Nice. My little gray cells did.
OK。喫煙者は吸わない。
Right.
彼は吸う。
Brilliant.
彼も吸う。
Nice.
彼も吸う。
Fantastic. My little gray cells.
OK。なんで灰色の最後って言うんだろ
I'll observe her instead.
う。右。
I'll keep an eye on them instead.
右手、右手。右手が。右、右、右。
Et voilà.
OK。
Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
It is, of course, about the murder of Monsieur Ratchet. Can you tell me your movements last night?
I understand. Yesterday evening, I took a break at Vinkovsky station with Hotaru. We then went to our quarters in the staff accommodations, a section of the luggage car. Freya was there, reading, and I went to bed right after. Freya is there now, I think, and Hotaru is in the kitchen.
読書ですか
They can verify my story.
What time was this?
11:30 p.m. or a bit
11
after.
時半。
The snow is beginning to fall heavily.
I see. Thank you. Can you write your address on this paper, please?
You want to pay me a visit?
Who knows, Monsieur Fauché?
右
He
です
is
ね。
right-handed, there can be no doubt. Are you a smoker?
I'm trying to quit, but yes. I'm now down to just one pack of cigarettes a week. If you're looking for a heavy smoker, you should talk to Hotaru.
Thank
Oh.
you, Monsieur Fauché.
ありが
I'll
とう。
come back to you if I have more questions.
Oh, 見て、
Another delightful trophy for my collection.
コレクション見て。あとは、
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I'll report to you as soon as I can.
なんか腹押されてないどうした
Ah, Monsieur Maury, would you have a few minutes to give me? I have some questions to ask you.
Do I look like I can answer questions? The room is spinning. My head is about to explode.
You were celebrating last night?
Celebrating when Freya always wins. Ah, what am I saying? If you want my answers to your questions to make sense, help me recover. You see
Kind
there,
of-
the magnet on the fridge. That is my special recipe. I call it my day after survival tonic. If you could make me my special tonic, I
Oh.
might survive long enough to answer your questions. John knows the recipe very well. He can help you with the preparation.
Very well, Monsieur Maury. If I must, I must. I will make you your day after survival tonic.
おい日本人っぽくない
That was easy.
レモン果汁2分の1個、爽やかな炭酸水 150ml、ミントの葉6枚、生姜の汁 50ml。これがミントか。ミント。なんかあるか？ないね。炭酸水、
I'm missing half of the tonic ingredients.
生姜、レモン。間違えた、変なの押しちゃった。
I have all the ingredients for Monsieur Maurice's tonic. I have to go and see Monsieur Fauché so he can prepare it for me. Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course, how can I help?
二日酔いココク
Monsieur
トリ
Fauché,
ンク
I need your help to prepare a cocktail.
作っ
What
てく
is
だ
this
さい。
phrase? This is music to my ears. What can I fix for you? A mojito? A gin and tonic? Or perhaps a martini? Shaken, not stirred?
It's not for me, but for Monsieur Maurice.
Ah, his day after survival tonic. Unfortunately, I know it well.
Here is everything that was listed on the magnet.
Excellent! I can take it from here. Mr. Poirot, I'm uncertain about the lemon juice. Is it half a lemon or a full lemon for the recipe?
半分です。
Half a lemon.
I can't remember if Hotaru prefers it with ginger or without. Do you remember?
生姜入りです。
I can assure you that he will want the ginger.
There you are, sir. Hotaru will be himself again.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
さあ、渡してこよ
Monsieur Fauché.
Of course.
Thank you,
No.
Monsieur Fauché. Here you go, Mr. Mori. I hope this will help you.
Thank you very much. Please give me a moment. While this takes effect, it will be a while, I'm afraid. But I will not move from the kitchen.
Since I have to wait, do you know where I can find Mademoiselle Nielsen?
She is in the staff quarters in the
John
luggage car. If the
Yorkshire.
door is locked, John will have the key.
Thank you. I will return. I hope you have a speedy recovery.
そのままにこんなとこに。
Monsieur Mori told me that you are the one who has the key to open the luggage car door. I will need it.
Yes, that's right. Here it is. Please don't forget to give it back to me.
I will not forget, Monsieur Fauché.
鍵。機関車になってる。
I have a favor to ask. Could you visit the passengers who are in their rooms and explain there has been an error with their allergy and diet form?
But, Monsieur Poirot, I made no errors.
Of course not. Call it a computer error.
Yes, it is possible, but even if I can see this is part of your investigation, I do not understand it.
I would ask that you observe which hand each passenger uses.
Ah, you wish to know if they use the right or left hand when they write.
That is my intention.
I will take on this mission for you.
Excellent.
エクセル任せましたよ。
That's it. It's open now. Empty rum bottles.
トラン
A deck of cards. I suspect they were reading diamonds and spades instead of books. A deck of cards. I suspect they were reading
You can't find it
diamonds
now.
and spades instead of books.
プ。一本開けてんな。プレミアム。日本風開けてんじゃね
Another golden
え。
moustache.
OK
treasure. Hello, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I ask you a few questions?
I don't have a minute. My career is ruined, and it's not my fault.
But how did this terrible thing come to pass?
My supplies, passenger luggage, our living space. There is so little room. I gave the cargo handlers in Istanbul strict instructions how to stack my crates containing the ingredients I need for my desserts. So as one box is used up, it can be discarded.
And these fools of cargo handlers did not follow your instructions?
Ignored completely. I have 4 crates that must be moved from there to here to correct the order they are stacked. But placing the wrong crate on top of a smaller crate will crush it, its contents, and my career.
Calm yourself, mademoiselle. I understand. So, the problem is these 4 crates must be moved there. But carefully.
Yes. I have to
Okay.
move these 4 boxes from this location,
こちらへ。
but there is not much space to move the boxes, and I have to be careful never to put a bigger box on top of a smaller one, or the smaller crate will be destroyed.
だ
The problem is clear. I shall assist you.
やりましょう。違う、間違えた。こうして、こうして。間違えてる。これはこうのこうで、これで一回 OK して、
Et voilà.
You are a lifesaver.
Or at least a dessert saver.
Thank you, thank you. I will gladly answer your questions.
これぐらい朝飯前よ。昨晩、
Can you tell me your movements of last night?
Last night after dinner, I stayed in the kitchen until 12:15 a.m. Then I joined Jean and Hotaru in our quarters. Then all of us read quietly in our beds until we fell asleep.
A very studious staff. However, Monsieur Mori doesn't seem to have followed the same literary pursuit as the others. And these rum bottles, do they have something to do with his hangover?
Hmm? 夕食はキッチンにいました。キッチンでは
She
ない。
may be telling the truth, but I
Sure.
cannot be certain.
宿舎に戻りました。 本を読ん
She's
でる。
lying, but why? That does not prove
What's wrong?
she's lying. I rather think that you didn't just read last night.
What makes you say that?
ミスター・モーリーの頭痛。
I spoke to Monsieur Maury. He seemed to be quite hungover. He even asked me to make him his day after tonic. He blurted out, Freya always wins. Wins what? Looking around, it is clear you were gambling and drinking most of the night.
You don't understand. It's late when we're off duty, but we need to unwind. And now there's been a murder? Yes, I admit it. We went overboard last night. But please don't tell Mr. Book. It's against regulations. We could all be fired.
Mademoiselle, I realize your difficult jobs have been made more difficult. But as you say, there has been a murder. I must have the truth.
Of course. I'm so sorry.
It's not such a crime. I'll leave it there and check in with Monsieur Fauché. Would you mind writing your address on this paper? I'm asking everyone on the train for addresses, in case I need to contact them once they leave the train in Paris.
I understand.
Yes, that's it. Mademoiselle Niersen is right-handed.
失礼し
Do you smoke?
No, I never have.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers, Miss Nielsen.
You're
ありがと
welcome.
う。で、マインドマップとしては、放置に確認したモーリーのとこに行って話か。で、あとは、よいしょ。元気になったかい？
How are you?
It's better. Thank you.
Then may I ask you some questions? It will not take long.
Quickly, please. I have hungry passengers to feed.
昨晩のこと。
Très bien. Can you tell me your movements last night?
Oh, nothing special. When I went off duty, I joined John and Freya in a compartment. I read for a short while, then went to bed
みんな
early.
本読んでって言ってんな。
I'm not sure you have recovered enough to tell me the truth. Don't waste what little energy you have recovered to lie, Monsieur Maury.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Poirot. You're right. It obviously wasn't reading that made my head hurt like that. But if you told Monsieur Book, it could mean my job.
I will keep your secret, but I am investigating a murder. You must tell me the truth.
Thank you.
住所書いてくだ
Please
さい。
write your address on this paper.
My address? I don't see why.
I think I hear Monsieur Book approaching.
My address? Yes, of course.
いいだな。
Another right-handed person. Not surprising. Most people are.
タバコ吸いますか？
You are a heavy smoker.
My job. It is very stressful.
Would you happen to know who vapes on the train? A banana flavor?
Oh, yes. The smell disgusts me. What is wrong with the good tobacco?
I do not have time to answer that. Who is it?
I've only seen one person who vapes. It's Captain Arbuthnot.
Captain Arbuthnot. I see. Your testimony was invaluable to me.
なるほ
Thank
ど
you.
ね。
Take care, Monsieur Maury. My
はい
palate
か。
depends on your good health.
あーバスノット。
Here is your key.
ありがとう、鍵。
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
About the little favor I asked of you.
Aha, but of course. I was able to get new allergy forms from guests who were in their compartments. Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Masterman, Count and Countess Andreni, they are all
They-
right-handed. I also asked Princess Dragomirov, but she had her assistant, Madame Schmidt, sign for her.
分かってん
She
な
is right-handed as well.
You have exceeded
No,
my
Christian.
expectations. Well done. Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
この時点でドラゴミロフ夫人が左だったら確定じゃないの
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I'll report to you as soon as I can.
ガーバスノットに聞くオールソンを聞くだからどちらも1号車か
Monsieur Fauché.
Of course.
昨晩の真実
So, Monsieur Fauché, are you trying to hide things from me? I know about your little party last night.
You are not a detective for nothing. I'm sorry, Monsieur Poirot.
Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I...
ありがとうこっちは OK ちょっと待ってなんかあったりしないよねん違うかここら辺にもないよな椅子の間とかにあったりせんのかな
Captain Arbuthnot, I know that you are the only person on this train to smoke e-cigarettes. We found a vial of e-liquid at the crime scene. Will you talk to me about this, or should I pass on what I've learned to the police?
All right. Come in if you must.
I have just a few questions for you.
Very well. Let's hear them.
ミズ・デブナムとの会話
The young English lady, Mademoiselle Debenham, was at the Tocatlian Hotel. Perhaps you met her there?
We exchanged a few words. Fellow Brits abroad, that sort of thing.
デブナムとの関係は
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham?
Nothing whatsoever. We barely spoke.
The director of the Orient Express, Monsieur Bouc, thinks the assassin is a woman.
And that is enough to accuse her. She had nothing to do with this murder.
How can you be so certain?
The idea is absurd. Ratchet was a perfect stranger to her. She'd never seen him before.
Ah, did she tell you so?
Well, yes, maybe she did. She may have commented once upon his somewhat unpleasant appearance. If a woman is concerned, as you seem to think, to my mind, without any evidence, I can assure you that Miss Debenham could not possibly be implicated.
It is clear that the captain is defending Miss Debenham, a woman he supposedly doesn't know very well.
矛盾してるね昨晩のこと
What were you doing last night around 1:15?
1:15? I believe I was still talking to that young American fellow, Mr. McQueen, the secretary of the man who was killed. We were in his compartment.
He was a friend or acquaintance of yours?
No, I never saw him before this journey. We'd hit it off at dinner, and the conversation continued into the early hours.
Until what time was that?
Until 1:45 or so. Then I retired to my room and went to sleep.
何か気になったことは
There is nothing you can recall last night that in any way struck you as suspicious?
It's nothing. A mere detail.
Allow me to be the judge.
Well, before returning to my room, I went to the lounge car to get a glass of water. When I was passing through the first-class corridor, I noticed that the door, which is just after your room, 201, was not quite closed, and the person who was inside peered out in a furtive sort of way. Then he closed the door quickly. I know there's nothing in that, but it was the furtive way it was done that caught my attention. Struck me as a bit odd.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know. Could you write down your address here, please?
My address? If you insist.
右だ
This man is right-handed.
ベイプのリキッド
Is this e-cigarette liquid yours?
What flavor is it?
Banana.
Well, that is awkward. That's my flavor of choice. But I have no idea what it was doing there, whatever.
Can you explain how it ended up there?
I have no idea. I never entered the man's room, Poirot. That's the truth.
Thank you,
う
Captain.
ん
You're
ありがとう でアリバイがあるただアリバイがある
Captain Arbuthnot is the only passenger to smoke an
何かレーティングを着
e-cigarette.
せようとしてる
Even if this liquid in Ratchet's room is a solid clue, he has an alibi. I cannot accuse him without any other proof. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
OK あとはここじゃないこっちか
Pardon this intrusion, Mademoiselle Olsen, but something you told me earlier confuses me.
Oh, please, come in.
How can you be sure Mademoiselle Debenham was in bed all night?
As I told you, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise wakes me up. If Fraulein Debenham had gotten out of her bed, I would have heard her. I got up this morning around 8 a.m. She was sleeping soundly.
なるほど眠りが浅いちょっとした音で起きてしまう気づいたはずちょっとした音で起きてしまう
The truth cannot hide from Poirot forever. Are you certain you would have heard her?
Yes. Why are you asking?
午後5時に起床した
I spoke to Mademoiselle Debenham and she told me that she got up around 5 o'clock in the morning. She opened the door and looked down the corridor. It was then that she saw a woman in a red kimono. How do you explain that?
I think I must have been sleeping very soundly not to have heard it. Oh, but
怪しいね
does that make me a suspect?
I am not accusing anyone, mademoiselle. Do not worry. I am just trying to determine what happened last night. Thank you for your testimony.
OK
「
アリバイ。ミスター・ミシェルが訪ねたのはここ。トランプ。
That's the right answer.
OK。ブケホック。よし、行こう。車両。もう一個先だ。到着。
So,
表記について。
There is no trace of the murder weapon on the train as yet. The killer could have hidden it anywhere.
it must be somewhere.
Indeed, as you say, it must be somewhere. According to Dr. Constantine's report, the stab wounds were made by at least one right-handed and one left-handed person, and with different strength. For the moment, everyone I have checked is right-handed. It is impossible to draw any conclusions as yet. However, I still have a few people to interrogate, notably the Russian princess.
You still have many avenues to explore?
Indeed, the case is far from over, mon ami.
ベイプの喫煙者
I
は
identified the person responsible for the bottle of liquid for the vape found at the crime scene.
So, this is our culprit? Do we hold him?
No, unfortunately, this bottle belongs to Captain Arbuthnot, but he has an alibi, confirmed by Monsieur McQueen for the time of the murder.
Monsieur Bouc, Monsieur Poirot.
Michel, calm down.
But it's Mrs. Hobart. She says she found the murder weapon in her room. She's very upset.
Let's go, Poirot.
A bird of gin. 204
I demand to be allowed to leave this train!
Madame, we are in the mountains, trapped in a snowdrift.
Stating the obvious, there is a murderer among us. He had the audacity to hide his weapon in my room.
Please, Madame Hubert, take a deep breath and tell us what occurred. Where did you find the knife?
I wanted to get a handkerchief from my purse, and when I opened it, I saw it! A bloody knife! Am I next to be murdered?
I very much doubt the murderer would give you his weapon.
What do you mean?
Madame, he would have used it.
Oh, I haven't!
オーバーリアクションだな。ナイフには触りましたか
Did you touch the knife?
Of course not! What a question!
I will take that as a no. Is this knife the real murder weapon, or is it a red herring?
Mrs. Hubbard is distraught, Poirot. I should stay with her. Please go on without me.
I have every right to be distraught. Thank you, Mr. Book.
全員が怪しく見えてくる。 105だ。
Dr. Constantine, we may have found our murder weapon. We need to make certain.
There is a pretty quick way to be sure. I have estimated the depth of the wounds. You can easily find the depth of each wound by comparing the width. There are 5 of them that I am not sure about. Test them, and then we will compare our results.
I will do as you say, Doctor.
刃渡り
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer.
深さが違うのか。
This is wrong. But I'm never far from the truth. No, not good. I do not think that's the right answer.
16
I must admit I'm not right this time.
幅が10 1個下げるか。
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. This is wrong.
違う。
But I must admit I'm not. I do not think that's the. Think, Poirot. That is not. No, not good. This is wrong. But I'm never. No, not good.
8。ほんと小さいね。7。
I must admit That was easy. What do you think, Doctor? Is this knife really the murder weapon?
There can be no doubt. You found the same depths as the estimates I made during the preliminary autopsy. I can assure you that you hold in your hands the weapon that took Ratchet's life.
Thank you. I feel way better now.
The rest gave you time to sleep off most of the effects of the drug.
I'm still a bit groggy.
That's understandable.
Are you able to continue your story now?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Where was I?
You were explaining how you returned to the Armstrong house to tell them their poor little child was dead.
Yes, that's it. I felt helpless. My part in the case was officially over, but I knew I couldn't let it go. Daisy deserved justice. Two days later, I returned to the Armstrong house to tell them Daisy would be released soon for burial. I was angry with myself that I couldn't bring them better news. I wasn't prepared for more tragedy. I'd rather finish what I have to do here before leaving. Hello, Miss Moreau. I'm here to see Colonel Armstrong.
Good morning, Detective. Colonel Armstrong is upstairs. He isn't well.
The Armstrongs have a taste for modern art. Nothing's been touched. It's as if Daisy might walk in at any moment and begin to play. Good morning, Colonel Armstrong. Is your wife here?
Here? No, Sonia is not here.
どこ行っちゃった?
Always one step behind. She died of a miscarriage last night. My wife, Daisy, and our baby. My whole family is gone.
I'm so sorry. I came straight here this morning. I received word that you can arrange for Daisy to be returned to you for burial. I didn't know.
Well, then, now you don't have to come back. I can arrange for Daisy, my wife, and our unborn child to be buried all at once. Very efficient. Being a military man, I can appreciate efficiency.
I know how hard this must be for you.
No, you don't know. I don't want your sympathy. I want you to do your bloody job and catch the creature that did this.
I know you won't believe me, but I swear to you, I will find who did this. If it takes me to the far corners of the earth, I will find them.
Then go. Please go now. Go find them.
頑張って見つけます。待っててください。
The house that once held the laughter of a child now feels so empty. I'm not giving up. I'm a part of this case, or the case is a part of me.
All units, Hike is in the vicinity of the cabin where Daisy Armstrong was found. Spotted a pickup truck drive through the barricade tape and then head up the dirt road toward where the subject cabin is located. Any car nearby who can respond?
Unit 28, we can respond, but we're a ways away.
Dispatch, this is 11. I'm on it.
Copy that. 11, you good to go.
Copy that.
Cabin 3月30日午後2時
Okay, there's the pickup. Let's see who ignored our barricade tape. 11 here. I'm at the cabin. Someone has broken in.
Are you requesting backup?
Not yet. I'm going to take a look around.
Copy that, 11.
誰だ?
An individual has entered a police-secured area. I have to stop him first. Somebody ignored the barricade tape. Footprints.
靴跡
A forensics evidence identification marker. Duct tape to silence Daisy's screams. Damn it, Daisy. A forensics evidence identification marker.
他はなんかあるか?
Forensics had to go through this place with a fine-tooth comb. Not really my style, but I'll take it.
1ん?
He's not here.
Zoom
3892. Oh, when Cordelia was killed. That's where I found Fluffy. Daisy's special toy. I hope we returned him to the family.
どっかにあるわけでもなく
Help yourself, Joanna. You earned it.
別になんもないね。ないね。いけないし。なんかある。
Don't shoot, officer. I'm on your side.
Sir, keep your hands where I can see them.
Sure, no problem.
Sir, this is a crime scene. Who the hell are you?
I'm a reporter. Boston 6 News. You can get us on cable even here in the mountains.
They haven't heard of crime scene tape in a big city like Boston?
All right, that wasn't my best move. I got all excited. I didn't expect to find the place deserted. It was hard to resist.
You should have tried harder. I'm placing you under arrest.
You should be thanking me. Look what you apparently missed and I found.
We'll get to that, but you're going to answer some questions first.
I'm more used to asking questions, but fire away.
Does the pickup parked in front of the cabin belong to you?
Yes, indeed, it's mine.
I'll check. Who are you exactly?
I'm Michael Clark, journalist for Boston 6 News. Off camera, but someday I'm going to be anchor. You just wait.
Do you have a way to prove that?
My press card's in my truck.
What are you doing here? You should know a crime scene is off limits.
I'm investigating the Daisy Armstrong kidnapping like you.
Show me your hands. I'm going to cuff you.
I'm sure we can work out a deal.
Put your hands in front of you.
Aren't you gonna read me my rights?
You have the right to remain silent. I really wish you'd exercise that one. Dispatch, this is 11. I intercepted a suspicious individual at the crime scene. I'll check to determine how badly he's compromised it. Then I'm bringing him in.
Copy that, Detective Locke.
The glove compartment is closed. Candid photos of the entire Armstrong family. A reporter just doing his job. Or something else? Car keys in the sun visor. A classic hiding place. Well, at least on TV.
Open. Chicago Museum.
Clark's driver's license seems to be in order.
Michael Clark.
The vehicle registration is not in the name of Michael Clark or a rental company.
Baker Stephen か。
This outline is the same shape and size as the gasoline can.
Shelter 調査。
I don't need to talk to the suspect right now.
3、8、9。
Yes! I knew I could
Okay.
do it. I can always use safecracking as a career move. There. Now let's see what secrets you're hiding.
よいしょ。ガソリン缶が。
This must be the missing can from the pickup. The cap's been damaged, and some gasoline has leaked out.
と変わる。ひげがある。
A gold mustache. Thank you very much.
これは爆弾のあれか。
This blueprint. It looks like the bomb in the cabin. The kidnapper built the bomb here.
ここが拠点か、つまりは。これは適当に入れとこうか。
This bunker looks like it's as old as the cabin. Everything is falling apart.
ガタが来ている。全部同じ方に入れてたらどうなんだろう。ん？つながってるっぽいな。
Now what? I have to turn the power back on to open this magnetic door. Let there be light.
ついた。ついた。ついたわ。
Perfect, it works. February 24th, the day of the kidnapping. They knew about the party and everything.
なるほど。パーティーの日は知ってたと。でもどっから漏れたんだ？なんかうるせえな。
Could use a new light bulb.
これは？わからない。わからん。音がうるせえ。切るか。5。5でどれだ ?1 番。7。
No, that didn't work.
え ?5。1。 7。
Yes! I knew I could do it. I can always use safe cracking as a career move.
5173。オープン。さて、金があって。
That looks like a hair caught in the band around the money. Forensics will tell me for sure, but that doesn't look like Daisy's color.
これは
An
JM。
expensive looking pen with the initials JM? What's its story?
JM 誰だ？
It's Daisy's hair clip, the same as the picture I saw at the Armstrong house. These get locked up again until forensics get here.
OK。電気をつけとこう。怖いから。よし。
I'll secure the bunker for forensics. Progress at last.
そういえばなんかこっち側のここら辺に挟まってたやつはもうないのか。さすがにもう木に挟まってとかはないの。で実は前の方に回るとみたいなのさすがにないか。うわーうわー、あら違うんか。ベアリングか。
I don't need to talk to the suspect right now.
金庫の中調べる。マーケクラークの情報。情報まだなんかあんのか。あ、これか。
Clark's press
電話
card
番号
and the phone number of the newspaper is on it. Ah, good. I can give him a call.
3787。消えかけてんな。これで。
That's it. No rookie mistake.
Hi, I'm Detective Joanna Locke, Berkshire Police. I'd like to speak to an editor, please.
One moment, please. Hello, Detective Locke? This is Abby Wilson. I'm a senior editor. What can I do for you?
Does a man named Michael Clark work for you?
Yes, he does. Why?
クラークからの連絡は？
When was the last time you heard from him?
Oh, it's been at least 7 or 8 months. That's not unusual.
クラークとの関係。
He works in the field?
Yes, Michael Clark is what we call a stringer. He works as a freelancer, comes up with a story we can use, we pay him, and we don't hear from him again for several months.
彼はどういう記事を書く？
What kind of stories does Mr. Clark write?
Mr. Clark is an investigative reporter, mostly crime stories, to tell you the truth. He comes up with some pretty macabre stuff some of the time. Is there a problem? Or a story?
彼の最新のテーマ
Do you
は？
remember what the last case he investigated was?
It was a murder case. The victim was a millionaire named James Miller. He was called the Frozen Fish King of Gloucester, Massachusetts. His body turned up in one of his nets. Or, rather, most of it did.
Ah, well, thank you, Ms. Wilson. You've been a great help to me.
Pleasure. I hope he's not in trouble. He can be a little pushy, but he's a good guy overall. So what's he working on now, Detective? Are you sitting on a story?
Thanks again.
秘密なんだよ。言えないよ。
I know my rights. You can't keep somebody locked up in a car like this, you know. You wouldn't do it if I was a dog. Do they have bathrooms at the station? I have the right to make a phone call, Detective whatever your name is.
3月30夕方かも。
That phone is an outside line.
Hello, boss. It's Michael Clark. I'm still on the Armstrong kidnap, but there's a small problem. I got caught being someplace I shouldn't be. I'm at the police station. No, I'm not under arrest. Just questioning. Fire me. Why? The station's integrity? You're kidding me, right? If you think I've screwed up that badly, then fire me. Got that? Fire me. Yes. Do it.
That didn't go well.
I think I got my point across. What happens now?
Go ahead. Then we'll have a chat.
うわ、ぐるって回った。びっくりした。
An extra computer so I don't have to go all the way out to my desk. Case files. A lot of them for our tiny town. This is all a game to him, and he doesn't expect to lose. The only comfortable chair in the whole station. But there's no time to rest. I'll add these to the file. Anything that will erase Clark's smile.
指紋は採取できたけど、いけないか。こんなところにヒゲが。
Shiny facial hair. The good news is that it's gold.
さて。やりましょうか。
Now that we've taken your DNA, we can begin. Interview of suspect Michael Clark, 6 p.m., March 30th, 2019. This interview is being recorded.
By elves behind the mirror, no doubt?
You were arrested at a crime scene where you damaged police barricade tape.
I'll pay for a new roll.
That's a Class A misdemeanor, and it carries a $500 fine.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
To begin with, where were you on the night Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped?
I was watching TV in my motel room, but I had my police scanner on. I heard the first reports that the little girl was missing. No way the police at the scene were gonna let me get close. I set my alarm so I could get on the story first thing in the morning, and tried to sleep. It was difficult.
Can anybody confirm where you were?
No, afraid not. I was alone and sleepless. A sad combination. And I realized a bad alibi.
You say you're a journalist, a stringer for Channel 6 News in Boston.
I sell my stuff to lots of media outlets.
How is your editor doing?
Last time we spoke, she was fine. But that was months ago.
What's her name again?
I work for lots of stations and lots of editors.
She knows your name, but you don't remember hers?
I'm not great with names.
It's Kelly Johnson.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
I just made that name up.
Good for you.
Her name is Abby Wilson. Mr. Clark, you lie like you breathe.
Huh. Well, that was mean.
He thinks he's invincible. I need to play his ego. That's the key.
What are you doing in the Berkshires? And what is your connection to the Armstrong case?
For the past few months, I've been working on a big case. Boston 6 News was looking forward to my next story. The Armstrongs have been on my list of potential targets for a long time. I changed gears when Daisy was kidnapped and started investigating the Armstrongs.
誘拐されて
So you just stumbled on a major kidnapping story during your stay in the Berkshires?
Yeah, I was researching PCBs in the river for crying out loud. Then, wow, the Armstrongs. That's not a Science Sunday report. That's a lead. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Your camera in the pickup. There were photos of Daisy from before she was kidnapped.
The Armstrongs are a famous family, like the Kennedys or Hollywood couples. Gossip sites love them. People want to see how they live. I started out just stealing candid shots. Paparazzi live on getting that one exclusive shot. Steamy, intimate, whatever. Then when the kidnapping happened, I realized I was here first. What an opportunity. And I jumped at it.
You have an answer for everything.
You're not very good at this, are you? How long have you been on the job?
Long enough to put you away for life. If you killed that little girl. Let's start with why you went to the cabin.
If the police were interested in it, I was interested in it.
How did you find the cabin?
Police radio. I heard the forensic team getting directions. Then, when they finally left the scene late this morning, I jumped in my pickup and hurried on up the mountain.
You tore the tape at the entrance to the property and stomped all over the house. This constitutes a serious violation of a crime scene, Mr. Clark.
I'm aware of that. I'm sorry. I'll pay the fine. But I got carried away. It isn't often I get a crime scene all to myself.
He's enjoying himself. I need to throw him off balance somehow. Surprise him into making an error.
Explain to me again how you got to the crime scene.
I listened in on the police radio frequency. Anybody can do it with a scanner. I headed for the crime scene in my trusty pickup, like I've done for years. After the forensic team left, I needed to see the crime scene for myself. I got to the bunker just before you arrived.
I don't see anything that proves he's lying.
You said you've been driving that pickup for years?
You heard right. Thanks to it, I never miss a story.
You say you've been using your pickup for years, but the title certificate is not in your name. The truck belongs to somebody named Stephen Baker.
Okay, I don't get why the pickup is so important to you, but I guess my ego made me say that. Yeah, the pickup was lent to me by a friend. I couldn't afford it even with a loan.
I think you stole it, Mr. Clark. You needed a pickup like that for our mountain roads, so you stole that one.
Try proving it. But while you run off on some wild goose chase, you can't hold me.
Let's move on to the gas cans and what we found in your pockets when you were brought in here today.
That sounds exciting.
How did you know there was a bunker at the end of the property?
How did your forensic team miss it?
They were concentrated on the cabin. It was pitch black out there.
Small-town cops with small-town minds. I'm sorry, that was unkind. You know, I'm a bit like you. My job is to find something a news program's viewers want to see. You do it for justice. I do it for money. I just have more flair than you.
I know you're lying, Mr. Clark. I followed your footprints from the cabin, and they led directly to the bunker. It was very well hidden. You had to know it was there.
Think whatever you want, Detective.
I know that Clark is lying. I need to reconstruct the whole sequence of events in order to understand what happened.
クラークはシェルターを開けた。ガ ソリン投げ入れた。シェルター閉めた。ジョン、シェルター。これがこっちかこっちなんだろうな。テープ。
No, no,
合わ
Joanna.
ない。
That doesn't track.
こうかな。
Hey, I'm a pretty good detective.
I'll tell you what really happened. You waited until forensics left and arrived in your probably stolen pickup. You grabbed a can of gasoline from your truck. You then went into the cabin to check if Daisy had been found. You then went straight to the bunker to see if it had been discovered, planning to set it on fire and destroy all the evidence inside. Before you could start the fire, you heard me arrive. So you hastily left your gas can and closed the hatch. You didn't think I could open the bunker. If I hadn't found you, I expect you would have burned down the cabin too.
I'm not gonna make fun of you, Detective, or how you handled my interrogation. You're obviously very new at this. I swear I'm telling the truth. I didn't know the bunker was there until the moment you showed up. I seem to have trumped your entire police force.
When I get the DNA results from the bunker, we'll continue this conversation.
You have no concrete evidence against me whatsoever.
The lab results will be in soon. You won't get away with this. See that call? That's your arrest warrant and a one-way ticket to prison. I'll be right back. Hello, sir. I think I found the man who kidnapped Daisy Armstrong. I'm interrogating him now.
Hold on, Detective Locke. I have some bad news. Someone set fire to the cabin in the bunker. The fire department is on the scene, but they say it's too late.
That's impossible. My suspect has been in the interrogation room with me all evening.
We can't hold him. Suzanne Moreau. Her fingerprints are on the wine bottle found in the cabin. We also found an unknown person's fingerprints, but they don't match your suspects.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm convinced Michael Clark is involved.
Detective, I'm cutting you some slack already. But we cannot hold your suspect simply because you're convinced he's guilty. We have evidence that Suzanne was working with an accomplice, Noah Garrity. I order you to release the reporter and arrest this Moreau.
Let me just check my last lead. The DNA analysis of the hair found in the bunker safe. The results just came in.
I know how hard this is. Okay. Get the DNA results. Detective Locke, I will give you 1 hour maximum. Then you close the file and arrest Suzanne Moreau.
Thank you, sir.
共犯者について。
Who did you call earlier?
An editor from the Boston 6 News.
An editor you repeatedly said should fire you. That was your accomplice, wasn't it? You were telling him to start the fire.
An accomplice?
Noah.
I know it was Noah you called.
I'm saying nothing more without the presence of my lawyer.
Stay right where you are. I'm not done with you yet.
Wow. Do I hear grounds for a lawsuit?
Some poor innocent woman is being accused instead of you. You set her up, didn't you?
You have to let me go, Detective.
All I need is one more phone call to the lab. I know it's you, and I'm going to prove it. Hello, this is Joanna Locke. I need the results of the DNA test I asked you for.
Hi, Detective. Sorry, we only have the DNA sequence. We haven't had time to compare it with the suspects yet. It'll take 7 more hours. I'm sorry, but you are not the only one on the waiting list.
Send your analysis to my computer in the office. I'll do the comparison myself.
I need authorization.
I have a murderer who is going to walk free unless I get those results now.
Fine, we'll send it to you right away, but I'll have to log this.
It's my last chance.
小屋で見つかった謎の DNA。ATC。ATC。 ここしか、ここか。ちょっと違うな。惜しいが。他に ATC はなさげ。これではない。で、CTA、CTA、CTA、CTA、CT、CT、CAT、CTA ないな。ジョンではない。マイケル・クラーク。TTC、TA 違うな。TTC、TTC、TT、TTTT。ない。TTC。ちょっと違う。ないな。スザン。TTA、TTA、TTA、TTA。これではない。TTA。来たんだね。
No! Suzanne? I don't understand. I was sure it would be Clark's hair. I'll have to let him go. You can leave.
Sorry it didn't work out for you, Detective. Maybe you should consider a career change.
We are not done.
Oh, but we are, my dear. We are done.
I had no choice but to return to the Armstrong house to arrest Suzanne Moreau. The arrest warrant for Suzanne Moreau. Suzanne was set up by Clark and Noah. They are the kidnappers, but I'm not giving up. When Suzanne comes up for trial, I will fight for her defense. But for now, the district attorney is in charge. If I want to stay a detective, he always has the last word. The door is wide open. How strange.
ニコちゃんも出てるし。
Hey, is anyone there? Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau?
Hello?
This is Detective Locke.
大佐もいない。寝てたらダメだよ。
Miss Moreau, can you hear me? It's me, Detective Locke. You must get up now. Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau, can you hear me?
Suzanne Moreau is dead. There are no traces of blows or injuries on her body. She doesn't seem to have defended herself from anyone. It appears Suzanne killed herself by ingesting all these drugs. glasses are missing.
眼鏡がない。鍵もない。
Suzanne's diary is missing.
日記も消えてる。親愛なる水諸、手紙でのご連絡をお寄せください。ドクター・アダムスはこの数日間あなたとの連絡を取れないでいます。3月29日土曜日の夜、お母上が安らかにご永眠されたことをご報告いたします。今後の手続きのことやそれ以外のことで私たちがお手伝いできることがありましたらどうぞご連絡ください。心よりご冥福お祈り申し上げます。副理事アデル・フランクリン。お母さんが亡くなっちゃってるってことか。
Suzanne was telling the truth about her mother.
私がデイジーを殺した。彼女来たまま返して誰かにも。
She must have realized at last how she'd been used. The death of her mother would have been an additional shock, and the self-righteous court of social media was as quick as usual to try and convict her.
これは本人が書いたのか、そもそも。
I called the district attorney to inform him.
This is Detective Locke, sir. I'm at the Armstrong house.
Have you arrested Suzanne Moreau?
She's dead, sir. Apparent suicide, but I need a forensics team.
She killed herself out of remorse for her part in the crime.
We don't know that yet. I'm calling forensics now, but I wanted you to know.
What a mess. Stay on site until forensics arrive.
Yes, sir. Standing by.
The investigation was officially closed. I was certain that she was innocent, and Clark had been responsible for 4 deaths and then vanished into thin air. With $1 million. Dollars marked, though, and not easily spent. I didn't care if the case was officially closed.
I swore, Mr. Poirot, whatever it took, I would hunt him down.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。この動画を見て良かったと少しでも思われた方はいいねしてもらえると嬉しいです。よければチャンネル登録もお願いします。X のフォローも気が向いたらしてくれてもいいんだからね。それじゃあまた次のプレイでお会いしましょう。じゃあねー。